Here, on this very spot, high-ranking Nazi Reinhard Heydrich was assassinated by two brave Czechoslovak resistance fighters, which happened on the 27th of May. This operation was known as Operation Anthropoid, and their mission was to take down Heydrich, who was known as the Blonde Beast, the Butcher of Prague, and Hitler called him the man with the iron heart. This here is the story of Operation Anthropoid, the assassination of Reinhard Heydrich. Keep watching. The Czech lands came under German control in March 1939, the Protectorate of Bohemia and Moravia, it was called from then on. After 1 month of military occupation, a civil administration under the leadership of Reichsprotector Konstantin von Neurath, a career diplomat rather than an ardent Nazi. He wanted to treat the Czechs in an appropriate way and favored autonomy. He got a competitor. Hans Frank became the head of administration. Frank was a Sudetengerman and a fervent Nazi. On top of that, the Gestapo and the SS became independent from von Neurath. In September 1941, Hitler had decided von Neurath was too mild. He made Nazi hardliner Reinhard Heydrich deputy Reichsprotector. Who was Heydrich? He was the son of a tenor and showed early musical talent. He was also a promising athlete in running, swimming and fencing. He grew up in a Catholic family with values like cleanliness, order and discipline. He was a shy man with few friends. He compensated this with arrogant behavior. The result was a gifted but also twisted personality, ambiguous about his identity and seeking approval and recognition. In short, Heydrich was a torn and insecure man. Tall and blonde, he appeared to be the ideal Aryan. He also proved completely amoral, unrestrained by law or social convention, and a brutal psychopath. Hitler called him the man with the iron heart. Heydrich organized the Einsatzgruppe that would carry out mass murders in Eastern Europe. In Prague, he created a reign of terror. He made a census of Jews and ordered that Theresienstadt, should be turned into a ghetto. He established a Standgerichte that created 770 death penalties and 1,000 imprisonments in a concentration camp. None of the judges had knowledge nor experience in criminal trials. As long as they were committed Nazis, it would do. Trials were held in secret. Sentences were carried out immediately. In January 1942, Heydrich took part in the Wannsee Conference, a formal meeting to plan the extermination of the Jews in occupied territories. Czech resistance against the occupier occurred from the get-go. Initially, it was mostly passive, and it got an organized form from 1940. It was known as the Central Committee of Home Resistance, the UVOD. It was endorsed by the Czechoslovak government in exile that was led by Edvard Beneš, who was actually the president before the Germans took over, and then he went into exile. The Czech resistance, however, was not a well-oiled machine, and this got Beneš worried. He wanted to establish democratic Czechoslovakia along the pre-Munich borders. But for this, he needed the approval of the Allies. So therefore, a success was needed. Plans to assassinate Reinhard Heydrich emerged in October 1941. If successful, it could impress the Allies and get their support, as well as the support from the people back home. Also, it could destabilize the Nazi administration. Operation Anthropoid was set up. Two Czechoslovak soldiers, the Czech Jan Kubiš and Slovak Jozef Gabčík, were parachuted in the area. They were trained by the British and dropped 20 miles from Prague at the end of December. Far from the planned drop site actually. A local gamekeeper found them in an abandoned quarry and was soon joined by a local miller who had contacts with the Czech resistance. Shortly after the new year, both men traveled to Prague. In the next 5 months, they traveled from safe house to safe house in the capital of the Protectorate. The UVOD sent a message to Beneš, protesting against the mission because of the brutal reprisals they expected to follow. Beneš did not cancel the operation. Kubiš and Gabčík decided it was time to act, and that action came in the morning of the 27th of May 1942. Heydrich took a daily route in an open car to either his office or the airport. But driving in an open car, he wanted to show he was afraid of nobody. Now, in the route was a sharp curve where his driver, Johannes Klein, had to slow down. And it was then that the men came into action. Gabčík leaped in front of the car with his Sten gun, tries to fire it, but the gun jams. Heydrich, he sees this. He orders his driver to stop. He takes his pistol and fires it at Gabčík, who tried to get away. And then Kubiš comes into action. He throws the modified anti-tank grenade towards the car. The bomb bounces on the car, lands in the rear wheel, and then explodes. Heydrich is wounded. His chauffeur sustains minor shrapnel wounds. Also, people in the nearby tram sustain light injuries because of the shattering glass. Heydrich keeps firing his pistol at the attackers, but then falls to the ground. He is rushed into the hospital, where he refuses to let a German surgeon operate on him, as he demands a Berlin surgeon has to do the job. By noon, a compromise is reached. Nevertheless, on the 4th of June, Heydrich dies because of his sustained injuries. When Hitler hears the news of the assassination, he is outraged. Paranoia and rage spread among Nazi leaders and protectorate Germans. Less than an hour after the assassination attempt, Hitler ordered Nazi Administrator Frank to order the execution of up to 10,000 Czechs, some from among concentration camp inmates and some from among the protectorate's general population. Anyone who had helped the assassins or had information and failed to report it to the police would be shot along with their families. Informants providing information leading to the assassins' arrest were promised a reward of 1 million Reichsmarks. The Nazis executed a horrible vengeance on the Czech population. The family members of the parachutists were arrested and killed. More than 1,500 people died and more than 3,000 were arrested, and the villages of Lidice and Lachaki were razed and their citizens murdered or deported. After Heydrich's death, authority passed to State Secretary Karl Hermann Frank. So what happened to the attackers? They hid in the St. Cyril and Methodius Cathedral. The Nazis threatened that if the assassins would not be handed over before the 18th of June, more drastic measures would follow. The tensions came to a crescendo as the date approached. Rumors spread the Nazis would murder every 10th Czech, and many Czechs contemplated suicide. 2 days before the deadline, a Czechoslovak parachutist, Karel Čorda, walked into the Gestapo HQ in Prague. He didn't know where the assassins were hiding at the moment, but he did betray those who provided them safe houses before. Why he stepped forward remains somewhat of a mystery. Did he do it for the money, or did he fear for the lives of his relatives? After the war, he was tracked down and hanged for treason. After his betrayal, many arrests followed. After hours of severe interrogation, one of them said they were hiding in an Orthodox church along with 9 other parachutists. Then the Nazis, they attacked the church on the 18th of June. A climactic battle followed. The ensuing battle raged for hours. The parachutists fell one by one. The remaining ones committed suicide, not to fall in the hands of the Germans alive. Bullet holes from the battle can still be seen today, and a memorial is dedicated to the Czech and Slovak resistance fighters. They gave their life for the resistance against the Nazi occupiers. But my question to you is, was it worth it, looking at the reprisals that followed after Heydrich's death? Leave a comment below. I hope you found this video interesting. If you want to learn more about Czechia during World War II, click here, and click here for my video about Slovakia during the Second World War. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.